Homie, I'm leading the way. DG on top. How about you keeping the lane? Lead them away. I don't fear my ops. Battle with me, I'ma stay. Kick up my feet on the plane. Homie, I'm leading the way.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's DJ Danny Ocean, host of the hottest night show on the planet, the Danny Ocean Show on Kiss FM. Of course, I'm a host of 3NT Wrestling too. I got some guys. I don't do this thing alone, man. I got the guys with me. Matthew, what up? Von Casey, what's good, my boys?
What up?
Look, people, it is a special show today. As we know, y'all saw the screen at the beginning of the show. AEW Revolution is going down this Sunday in Greensboro, North Carolina. You might be able to still get tickets, but if not, you can definitely order that pay-per-view. Once again, going down this Sunday, man, we got a very special guest in the building today, Mr. Daniel Garcia. What's going on, Brody?
What's good, y'all? How you doing? Thank you for having me.
Hey, man, we appreciate you coming on, man. We know you got to get ready for a big match this coming Sunday, man.
Yeah, it's a pretty busy week for me. I'm not gonna lie. I've been doing media all day. We got Dynamite and Collision this week, and I got the pay-per-view on Sunday. So it's a pretty big week. I'm gonna be very exhausted by the end of it, but hopefully, I won't be too exhausted to hold up that TNT title.
Oh God, won't be too tired to carry some new hardware around, I hope.
Yeah, I hope so too. I'm ready for my check bag to get a little bit heavier.
I feel like
that's nice.
So first off, I'm gonna ask you this. We're leading into it. You got Christian Cage this Sunday at Revolution for the TNT Championship. Like me, I'm pretty sure you grew up watching Christian on TV.
Definitely.
How does that feel to be facing him in the ring? We know you fought Cope a couple weeks ago. How does it feel to be in the ring with legends like that?
Man, I thought it was going to feel great to be in the ring with somebody like Christian until his old ass had to open up his mouth about my mom and my dead dad. He's somebody that I had so much respect for, and I saw him, talking about other people, and I kind of thought it was funny. But then when you're on the other side of it, that don't play well with me. So now I got to do it to him. I got to do it to the legend. And I got to, he's had a great career, but it might be time to wrap it up when I'm done with him at the end of Sunday.
Talk crazy to
might be time to wrap it up.
Now hold up, DG. You and I are nearly identical in age. I'm 9 days older than you.
Okay, old.
Yeah, I'm old. I'm the one who gets called old now because I'm 9 days older. Finally, somebody calls me old.
How does it feel, Vaughn?
I'm not too mad at it because I'm not ancient like y'all, but when you are in the ring before you had to run into be on the other end of Christian's parental antics, we'll call it. Before you had to be on the other end of it, what was your impression of Christian being in AEW?
Man, I thought he was great. He was somebody who was helping young people like he was helping Jungle Boy. He was helping Luchasaurus. He was somebody who was taking young guys under his wing. And he's somebody who I feel like has so much experience, such a wealth of knowledge. And he's such a versatile performer, somebody who can do everything. And he's been around in so many different eras of wrestling. He's gotten over in so many different eras. He's gotten over in so many different companies. So he's somebody who, is a prime example of how to be a professional wrestler. So he's somebody that I looked up to, and then I realized he's a narcissistic scumbag, who was only helping these people to benefit himself. And, it's really sad to see when somebody that you looked up to turns out being a terrible human being.
True.
Right. All right, DG. Now, Christian obviously talking about your dead dad is kind of crossing the line. Obviously, he's trying to play mind games to get you off your game going into the match. What do you need to do to prepare yourself mentally to not let that happen?
Matt, I'll be lying if I said the stuff he says to me doesn't hurt. That stuff is going to have some sort of effect on you. It's going to make you mad. It's going to rile you up a little bit. But he can't say anything to me that's going to, nothing he's going to do to me is worse than stuff that I've ever had to go through on my own. So I'm prepared for the stuff that he throws at me. It's not something that is foreign to me. I've been made fun of my whole life. So nothing is going to make me act too out of character. I just got to go into the ring focused. I got to go in determined. I got to stick to a game plan. I can't let him do what he wants to do, and that's make me act out of character, make me start making mistakes. I'm not going to make the mistakes he wants me to make. I'm not going to let it happen, and I am going to make him make the pivotal mistakes. I'm going to make him make those final errors. And the last error is going to be me holding the TNT title, dancing with my hips thrusting over his dead body on the apron.
The hip
Salute,
thrust is
salute.
crazy. So let me ask you about the dance real quick. Um, so we were looking up highlights for you to make a little video clip, to hype you up and everything, hype up this match and whatnot. When you type in Daniel Garcia AEW on YouTube, a lot of the time, for the most part, what pops up is the dance.
Hmm.
Now, do you feel like that dance is taken away from your in ring ability? Like, are people looking for you to see the dance, or are they looking for you to see you in the ring?
I think for a while it was. I feel like for a while people only wanted to see the dance. And but I feel like that's a natural progression. I feel like when you incorporate something new that's popular,
Hmm.
people are gonna want to see that. When Drake dropped, Hotline Bling, people want to hear Hotline Bling for a little bit
Hmm.
until you start to come out with some new stuff, and until you start to change your style a little bit, and then you can still play Hotline Bling, but it's not all people are coming for, if that makes sense. And
Yeah.
I feel like for a while people only wanted to see the dance, but the more I gave them and the more versatility that I showed them, I feel like now it's just something I can give them, and it's not the only thing that they want anymore.
Okay, I feel that. It's kind of like
It
the
it's
dance
a
brings them to the rest of it, the rest of the show. Like,
Yeah, it's like if you're eating a salad, now the dance it's just a little crouton.
a little crouton on top, just a little sprinkle,
Yeah,
a little sprinkle. I feel
a sesame seed.
you. Well,
Well,
let me ask you again real quick before you go, Vacation. Let me ask you
right.
something. What was your biggest like holy shit moment since you've been wrestling? Like, was it somebody you had a match against, an arena you stepped in particular, or a spot you saw where you just like, holy, this is real. This is my life.
Man, I would say wrestling for the ROH Pure Championship, Buffalo, New York,
Mm,
my home arena, KeyBank Center, in front of all my friends and family, with my favorite rapper West Side Gun playing me
West
out
Side
to the ring.
Gun.
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
Against one of my greatest rivals, Wheeler Yuta, and then I win the title. Confetti's falling. Then my favorite wrestler of all time, Brian Danielson, comes out and puts the title around my waist. Like that was something that I could have never dreamed of happening. It was just
Mhm.
too perfect of a scenario. Like the scenario was too perfect,
That's
and that
awesome.
was a moment where I remember I was flexing, and he was putting the title around my waist, and I just looked at myself in the big screen. I'm like, this is an insane moment, and
That's
that's something
fire.
I'm never gonna forget.
That is so fire, bro.
Yeah,
That's
that's
dope.
insane. So, with thinking about that ROH championship and everything, I wanted to ask you. We got into the whole thing about the dance and everything, and it being an introduction into all the other things that you can do in the ring. Do you feel like you're in your prime right now? And if not, do you think you'll know when you enter it?
Man, I hope I'm not in my prime. I got so many more years and so many things that I want to get better at, so many more things that I want to accomplish, and you know, I'd like to think I'm only beginning to scratch the surface of what I'm capable of and what I can do. So I mean, if I'm in my prime, I feel like I could. I feel like if I retired now, if I could never wrestle again, I feel like I'd be very happy with the things that I've done. But I have so much more, like stuff that you know there's so much more I want to do. So much more I want to do. And I would be a little bit sad if this was the peak, but I think I would be foolish to believe that this is the peak. I think I have many, many, many more peaks to overcome in professional wrestling, and I think I got a long ways to go.
Okay.
Okay. And speaking of, you said that you feel like you have so much more to do, which brings to my question: which wrestlers do you feel like you have the best in ring chemistry with, and also to speak towards the future? Is there anybody? Is there anybody in AEW currently that you're looking forward to doing a program with later on down the line?
Man, I think people like Lee Moriarty, people like Wheeler Yuta, these people who have been my peers for maybe like the past 5 years, they're the people that I have the best in ring chemistry with. I think every time we're in the ring together, it's magic. But I think the number one person that every time I do anything with them, whether it be a promo, whether it be tagging with them as friends or tagging with them even as enemies, or wrestling them, I think it's the definition of magic wrestling as Brian Danielson. Um,
Okay.
I think me and him, we've wrestled a bunch of times, but I feel like we got many more to go. And it has been my goal since he announced this over the past year. This is last year. I want to retire him. I want to be his last match at AEW. And I think every match that I have that in the back of my head. If I keep winning and if I keep doing my thing, we're gonna run into each other, and it's gonna be his last time in the ring.
Okay. Um, so Sunday, AEW Revolution is Sting's last match. Do you have any interaction or any stories to tell about Sting?
Yeah, Sting he's such a sweetheart, man. He's a ray of light in any room that he walks into. He is such a positive man in a business that so many people deem as a negative business. And I remember when I first started, I was wrestling like Darby a lot, and I wrestled Sting, and he's somebody who just offered so much advice.
Mm.
I remember he gave me advice, and then maybe like a year later, he came up to me and he said, "I think you're the most improved on the roster." And I mean, man, that meant the world to me. Like it was such a cool feeling coming from Sting. That's crazy, and he's a sweetheart, and I wish him nothing but the best in the next chapter of his life.
That's awesome, man, dude. That's like DJ Jazzy Jeff coming to me like, "Yo, you're doing a good job on those turntables." That's
It's
awesome.
crazy,
That's
crazy.
amazing. So let me ask you this: when it's all over with, we're at AEW Revolution 2054 for Daniel Garcia's last match. What
2054. How many years ago? How many years later is that?
That's
What
30
year are we
more
in now?
30 years from now.
Oh.
I know.
What do you want the people to say about Daniel Garcia, the professional wrestler? When it's your time to let it all go, what do you want your end game to be? What you want people to say about you?
Man, I want to be somebody where my fingerprints are left all over the business. I want to be somebody who has influenced a lot of people after me. I want to be somebody who is remembered as a good locker room person, somebody who, helped others and looked out for others. And, selfishly, like I don't have to be deemed as the greatest of all time. I don't have to be a consensus greatest of all time. But I want every time a greatest of all time conversation is brought up, if one person in my room mentions my name, I think that's enough for me.
You want to be in the GOAT conversation. I
I
feel
feel it.
that. What you got, Vaughn?
Well, I want to switch from positivity to nonsense. Uh,
My favorite.
yes. Now this is the most pure expression of nonsense. Twitter. All right. So I want to ask: are you aware of the DG deleted tweets account that
Of
is keeping
course.
track? Okay. I just wanted
Of
to make.
course. I've seen it. I think my mom told me about it. I think that's how I found out about it. My mom was like, "Have you seen this Twitter?" I'm like, yeah, mom.
It's allegedly a fan club of yours. But shout out to the person who does it. I don't know if their identity's out there, but shout out to them. Uh, this is my question. When you start tweeting something that, do you know you're going to delete it, or are you just having to get that thought out of your head immediately?
I mean, I think it's a at first
And you know what
I
tweets I'm talking about.
I never expected that to be like a thing that, people would be keeping track of my deleted tweets. But sometimes, like, this is a toxic trait of mine. Sometimes, like, I'm just watching, like, basketball or, like, soccer, or I'm listening to something, and, like, I just have a thought in my head. And I'm like, somebody needs to hear this. Like, and then I tweet it out, and then I forget, like, oh, man, like, people are actually following what I'm doing and keeping track of what I say. I can't be saying whatever anymore. And then I gotta delete this. But now I can't even delete my tweets in peace no more. People, it's archived.
That's
It's like a museum,
crazy.
So, but like a lot of the time, it's just me forgetting. Like, oh man, like people are paying attention to what I'm saying. I can't wild out no more.
Thousands of people are watching. I can't say this or that anymore. Yeah, I feel that.
Very.
Yeah,
100%.
we all go through that. Trust me. We all go through that. All right, so switching from the negativity to something a little bit positive. When I heard you talking about like your future, but you said that if it ended all today, you would be good with the things that you've accomplished. I saw that in 2019 you had a really bad car crash, and that you were. I'm not too, you know how wrestling sites are. It could be a little tricky to find accurate information sometimes.
Hmm.
I saw that you questioned if you were going to be able to return to the ring. If you can explain to the people like what your thought process was going into the rehab process, and what was the moment where you realized, you know what, forget all that, I need to work hard and get back in the square circle.
Yeah, I always knew that I would be able to get back in the ring if I wanted to. I knew that I would be able to rehab and, like legs, it's just broken bones. Like they'll get
Hmm.
better and I'll be able to do what I have to do. But mentally, I just didn't know if I wanted to continue wrestling. I felt like the car accident made me realize that life has so much external risk, like driving, like flying, like crossing the street, like having interactions with people at grocery stores. Like there's so much risk that could, kill you every single day. And I didn't know if I wanted to, put in more risk in my life, like being in a professional wrestling ring or driving to wrestling shows. I was like, man, like, do I really want to? There's already so much risk in life. Why would I want to put more on there? And I don't know a specific moment where it happened, but then I realized, like, what is life if you're playing it safe? What is life if you're not doing what you want to do? And now I'll risk it all for if it's something that I really want to do, I'll risk everything. And the best decision in my life to keep wrestling. I think some of my best friends and my family, they told me like why would you stop wrestling? Like this is something that you're actually good at. People would kill to be as good at anything as you are at wrestling at this point in time. Like, why would you stop? And something that I hate in life, I hate seeing untapped potential. I hate people, like not going after what they want to go after. I felt like I'd be a hypocrite if I didn't. And I'm glad I did. I'm glad I chased my potential, and I'm glad I was able to, step into my own greatness. And best decision in my life. I'm forever grateful for the people that guided me in that direction.
Much respect. Much respect. Gotta ask you because we always do this. Well, we'll close out with that actually. Since we do work in radio, I do want to ask you this. Obviously, you listen to a lot of West Side Gun. I'm pretty sure you listen to a lot of Benny the Butcher
Hmm.
and Griselda in general. What do you listen to get you ready for a match? Like, what are you going to be bumping when you're heading into the ring with Christian this Sunday?
Man, I'm not gonna lie. Like when I go into a match, I don't like to get like real fired up. I don't like to get mad. I feel like that makes me cause like errors and mistakes.
Mm,
I like to be calm. I love Spanish music. I love listening to like reggaeton, and I love listening to like Afro beats, and like I love listening to like little pop music, like stuff like Pink Panther, stuff like that.
okay.
So
Man of
yeah,
taste.
yeah. I like to be like real at peace before I go out there. I like to be real calm. I like to get my heart rate real low. So I'm just real clear headed going out there. So going out there, I'll probably be listening to some like Fireboy DML or like
Respect.
probably stuff like that before I go out on Sunday. I feel like that's what I'm going to be in the mood for.
Bro, I'm picturing like Nuck if you buck and stuff like that. But this
No,
is
Nah,
straight Pink
Pink
Panthers,
Panthers,
bro.
boy. That's what
that's
it
not
really
me.
is.
That's not me. I'm a real like I'm a real calm dude. I'm a real chill dude. Like how I am right now, my demeanor. This is pretty much me like 24/7. So I like to stay real low.
Respect. Respect. What you got, Matthew?
Oh, you say you from Buffalo, right?
Yes, Buffalo, New York.
Okay, what's the? You mentioned basketball. Who's your squad?
Man, I'm a Miami fan.
Mm.
Oh man, I'm rooting
Oh
for Christian,
God.
bro.
Oh man.
That's
What
cold
we
blooded.
doing here?
I'm a
Now I'm from
Miami
Queens,
fan,
man. I'm a
bro.
Knicks fan, so we
Ooh.
got smoke.
Uh,
We got smoke, man. We got
Danny, get
smoke.
that top five.
Oh God, I did that. You know what? And that's what we're gonna close with. We do got it. We do this every single time we interview anybody. We need your top five favorite wrestlers of all time. But I want to put a remix on it. Your top five heels of all time.
oh man,
Mm,
I'll say Eddie,
Mm,
Mm.
mm,
Sasha.
okay.
Great you.
okay, okay.
I'll say Randy Orton.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Yeah,
that's big
yeah.
facts.
Peak Randy
Heel
heel run
Randy
is nasty.
kicking people heads off is
Kicking
crazy.
people's fathers'
Man,
heads off.
I I'll say Edge, Adam Copeland,
Okay.
Yeah.
crazy heel.
Hmm.
And I gotta fill out somebody with this last spot. I'll say Triple H. I'll say Triple H.
My
Okay.
guy. There we go.
Yo,
My
Triple
guy.
H.
That's a
You
solid
want me
top
back,
five.
man.
You can't have a heel list without Triple H, man. You can't have a heel list without Triple H. I'll throw him in there.
That's big facts. Guys, y'all got anything else?
Nah, man, you want me back, man. I'm rooting for you again. You said Triple H.
Perfect.
You got me. Yeah.
Well, DG, listen, man, we definitely appreciate you coming on. AEW Revolution is going down this Sunday from Greensboro, North Carolina. There might be tickets on sale. Like I said, it might be sold out by now. Who knows? But make sure you order that pay per view either way. It's definitely going to be a big one. Pause. DG, anything you want to say?
You see what I mean, bro? See what I mean, bro? All right, bro. Damn.
DG, is there anything you want to say to Christian Cage before the pay-per-view Sunday?
Man, Christian, you made the biggest mistake of your life opening your mouth about my family.
Mm.
I'm going to shut it. I'm going to dance with the title over your head, and I'm going to bear it in front of 16,000 people in Greensboro Coliseum, the biggest AEW event of all time, the best AEW event of all time. It's going to be remembered as the day that Christian Cage got dropped on his head and got hips thrusted over his dead body with the title held above his head. That's what you're going to be remembered as. That's what your legacy is going to be, and I can't wait to see it.
That's what I'm talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, this Sunday, AEW Revolution, man. It's a three-ski piece.
Homie, I'm leading the